So Parramatta running from right to left, and Michael Cronin, the man that was in doubt up until the early hours of this morning, kicks off, and Dale Shearer gets the first touch for Manly. And I expect very strongly that you're going to see these Parramatta forwards going in and hitting very hard in the opening encounters, urged on by the criticism given to them since their humiliating defeat at the hands of Canterbury. Interesting match for Peter Sterling, the Parramatta number 7, as we see an altercation quenched there fairly quickly, but Sterling's playing his first match in Australia in front of his girlfriend, who's out here for a couple of weeks or more. So that should itself be enough. 73.8, the success rate for Mike Cronin. And as is the case with a lot of champions, they sometimes have characteristics that are totally out of the norm. I was looking through the two sides today. I was in the Parramatta room, and would you believe he arrived at 25-3?
That's not unusual for Mick Cronin. He's generally a late comer to the game. He doesn't like to get here too early and see the other grades play.
Well, here he is now from 30 metres out, right in front. Breeze coming across the flight of the ball from the hillside, but he's got it. Cronin gets first points in the Manly Parramatta encounter. Parramatta 2, Manly no score, the NEC Big Game. And Michael Stone is giving the penalty. Player tackled, not in possession, the penalty to Parramatta. There it was on the NEC replay. And this is an easy one for Michael Cronin. Steve Eller, I was just noticing him. He was still doing some stretches out there. He's yet to see it. I don't think that the man alongside him would be worrying about the stretching. The rather nonchalant Mr. Eric Grothe. Eric, one of the real characters of the game. A brilliant player, but I guess every coach that's had him would like to know just how you switch him right on. Cronin 1 from 1, gets his second easy. Parramatta leading Manly by 4 points to 0. You're in tune with the NEC Big Game. 4-0 the Eels. Well, everything at the moment is going Manly's way. This is Taylor. Lydiard brings it out. Lydiard out to the 22 line. Tackled by Paul Vaughton. Both he and Daly have done a lot of work in the opening exchanges, and Manly have had plenty of defence on their plate.
Manly certainly have had plenty of defence to do. They've hardly held the ball for 2 tackles before Parramatta have got possession, and now we'll see what Manly can do when they've got the ball. And sometimes what can happen is you're too tired to attack when you do get possession back, when you've done so much defending.
This is the Englishman Goodway playing it. They're going to the blind. Richie Paulson allowed to make quite a few metres before he was tackled just outside the 22. This Manly set of 6 coming off a mistake made by Peter Wynn. Here's Tony Melrose. Now it's to Vaughton. Vaughton attempting to step back inside. 5 tackles gone, and Manly will probably resort to the air here. Back now for their kicker, Melrose, to put it up. Price went for the charge down. Pressure for Taylor. Taylor takes it safely and then is put on the ground by Kerry Bowstead. But he's still very much in the field of play. Sterling it was, eh? Still making that mistake. Michael Stone calling out Daly, the Manly prop. Getting him for the swinging arm going in. Well, there's Taylor. Takes him, Sterling. Floating ball out for Lydiard. Price will come inside. Here's Lydiard with the ball, out of the tackle. He'll still find Price. He does now. Price throws the dummy. the old captain, Courageous, galloping towards the line. He picks up Ella. Ella puts the ball down backwards. That's a try. Michael Stone has given the try. Scored by Michael Mosley. Following like an obedient drover's dog. Michael Mosley was simply there. He played to the whistle. He supported his teammates. Manly had ample opportunity to snuff this try out. Laurie was able to stand. Kenny was able to get a ball away to Sterling. Sterling floated along past to Lydiard. It was Lydiard who should have been parcelled up. Two Manly players and they both missed him. A third bloke had a shot at him. He missed him. Then Price threw a dummy and he galloped inside the 22 down to the 10 before Ella came on the scene, lost the ball. Mosley picked it up. The referee said it was lost backwards and he gives a try.
This try went through, the ball went through 8 or 9 sets of hands, so it was very good handling on the part of the Eels, but some terrible defence by the Sea Eagles. They could have stopped this try any one of a number of occasions. I think there has to be some controversy about the final put down by Steve Elder as to whether the ball went forward or back, but Michael Stone was right on the spot. So was Michael Mosley, and he picked it up and went across.
Well, looking at the replay, I would think that the ball was knocked on when Ella lost it, or certainly went forward when he lost it. The referee saw it otherwise, but the fact remains what Bill said. Manly had ample time to snuff the try out 50 metres back down the ground. The Cronin kick, he's missed it. Scoreline, Parramatta 8, Manly yet to score. Shearer, Mosley and Wynn combining in defence. Hasler, Melrose, Vaughton. Round the legs, the tackle made by Peter Sterling. Having a big game, Sterling. Another one made by him on close. Now it's Goodway. Of course, Parramatta in this match today not only have got the vocal support of their own fans, they very much have the support of the Penrith fans. Is Bowstead getting down the flank, turning it inside to Goodway. Goodway back to Creel. Creel has lost it, and it's gone over the touchline. And the referee calls a halt to the first half. Parramatta 8, Manly no score. Graeme Hughes.
Well, you don't win too many matches as important as this one if you end up behind in the penalty count. Manly continue to give away stupid penalties through foul play incidents, and they're not going to have anyone to blame but themselves if they lose this one, and that's certainly the way it's heading.
Melrose beating the tackle of Price, getting the ball inside to Cochrane. Cochrane gets it back to Hasler. Hasler to Goodway. Goodway is 35 metres out from the line. A one-hander back to Daly. Daly taken by Ella, and the ball lost, and it's a penalty to Manly. Ball stolen by Parramatta. It was the tackle on Daly. They'd more than stopped his progress, and he couldn't get the ball away. And they got pinched in the final wash-up. So it's a penalty for Mal Cochrane. 33 metres out. And let's come back and have a look at this now for you. The angle. Certainly not much of an angle there for Cochrane. He's had the one shot without success. Cochrane's kick successful. 8 points to 2 in favour of Parramatta. That's the NEC Big Game scoreline. Punched by the Manly defence. Sterling, Laurie, Price coming from deep. 37 handling errors now in the match. 20 by Parramatta, 17 by Manly. This is Peter Wynn. Still 8 points to 2. Jerd. That's a strong run by the big man. 5 tackles gone. Sterling's decided to go for the bomb. Gurr's under it. Oh, Kenny scores. Kenny has scored, ladies and gentlemen, with an unbelievable leap. An unbelievable jump by Brett Kenny. There are not too many better fullbacks under the bomb than Marty Gurr. But when you're standing still and you've got a bloke like Brett Kenny charging at you, then it's a very tall assignment. Look how high Kenny got.
Brett Kenny here shows us what a great athlete he is. He went up above the pack, soared above Marty Gurr here and came down with the ball. He's just a complete footballer. Not only can he tackle, not only can he run the ball, he can also come down with bombs.
Let's see the put down by Kenny. Yeah, it's sweet. I thought for a moment there might have been a question mark on it, but no doubts at all. Brett Kenny, a dual try scorer in the Wembley Cup final, man of the match over there. And I was going to make the comment at the latter part of the first half. You'll recall he was injured during the first half. It stung him, and I thought, gee, it's put you off your game a little bit. And then just when you think that he's gone to sleep, look what he does to you. 2 out of 3 for Cronin. 12-2. 16 to go as Cronin gets the extras. And 14 points to 2 in favour of the Eels over the Eagles. For Daly to kick straight down to Eric Grothe. And the big fellow is bumped off Kerry Bowstead. He's away from another. This is Champagne Grothe. Now it's Steve Ella. Ella's going to be caught. Back to Grothe. And Grothe is going to score a Parramatta special. The human steamroller at his best. Getting support from an able colleague, Steve Ella. And now it's cramped up again. There he is. He got rid of Kerry Bowstead with one heck of a fend, and then he got rid of Chris Close, who's built like a human tank. Then Steve Ella said, do you want any help? And he was taken by Gurr, the pass back to Grothe, and the big fellow was in to score. It was always his try. Steve Ella simply put a bit of cream on top of the cake.
I don't know that Manly could have done anything to stop this. First of all, Grothe got around Bowstead, and then he's able to push off Close. He decided to turn the ball back inside to Ella. Ella had the old firm inside in the form of Brett Kenny, but elected to fire it back outside to Grothe. And of course, he was always big enough and strong enough to score.
So there they are, having a bit of a chat about their try. A very hostile, a very, well, jubilant crowd, not hostile, but the Manly cheer squad has decided that it's time to leave as Cronin prepares to take the kick, and the Parramatta cheer squad are giving them the rounds of the table. I would hope good friendly stuff. So Cronin from out on the touchline. It doesn't look bad. He's got it. Well, when they're hot, they're hot. And there's the score. Parramatta 20, Manly 2. With Eric Grothe's try firmly satisfying them, because I think there were a few people asking the question, has Eric Grothe gone off? But he showed there in that try that he's certainly got a hell of a lot of power and enthusiasm in his running. This is Richie Paulson to play it. Cleo. Good work by Noel Cleo. Des Hasler will score. Yes, Des Hasler is in to score. He and Noel Cleo laid it on. Hasler finished it off. And a try for the Eagles coming in the late part of the game. It was Cochrane who dummied to a decoy, gave it to Cleo, who sucked in the defence, and Hasler simply supported him and ran right around Paul Taylor to score under the uprights.
Well, if one thing came out of this try, it's that Des Hasler's got blistering speed. Ella tried to chase him from behind but couldn't get near him. Paul Taylor couldn't get a hand on him, and he had no problems whatsoever in crossing between the uprights.
Unfortunately for the Eagles, all too late. I still believe, and I've only just sort of reminded people of it, they built themselves an enormous task with the way they started the game. It may be that they have been wrongly done by, but the penalty count certainly didn't help their cause. And there's the conversion by Mal Cochrane. Parramatta 20, Manly 8. Ray Price. This is Setri. There's the siren. Up goes the cheer as the Blue and Golds win another match against their modern-day arch-rivals, Manly. I don't think I'm telling any secrets out of school. If there's a team that Parramatta loves to play and to beat, it is Manly. They've had some tremendous contests, and today, on their home ground, Parramatta have beaten Manly by 20 points to 8. Mosley, Kenny and Grothe tries, Cronin 4 goals, and for Manly, Hasler a try, and Cochrane kicked 2 goals.